2 days ago, I asked you go and play the array, right? If you don't go and play, then today you will face a bit difficulty lor. There's always a reason if I ask you to do a worksheet, because I want you to practice first before you come. So make sure you complete your homework first. After you complete your homework, then you can go and play lor. If you don't complete your homework, then it will slow you down lor. Okay, let's look at this worksheet. I'm going to go extra slow so you can follow. Say this is our class name, or class name have to match with our file name. I don't know, I repeat how many times already. So I declare my size as 10, right? I declare my size as 10. Then I declare array num, right? Set the size lor. I set the size. So this array number can store how many items? Answer me. This array num can store how many items? Any more answer? The answer is 10. The answer is 10. We can store 10 items. Okay. So if you are not familiar, right? You're not familiar with array, what you can do is always do command. We can store 10 items. So you can refer back anytime you need. Okay. This is what I do in my programming lah. So if I say if I'm doing this part, I'm doing this part. If I need to refer back, I just directly my command. So how do we fill our array from 1 to 10? So we loop it off. We loop it from, I say already, index Java array is always index 0. Java array is index 0. Java array is index 0. Index 0 ed. Okay. Java array is index 0. So we start from index 0, meaning right, we start from imagine we got an array, right? So like this, something like this, something like this, okay? So we start from the index 0, right? We fill the item. Then we increment by 1, we increase it by 1, then we go to this position, then we increase it by 1 again, then we go to this position. Imagine here got 10 items, then it's going to fill it with I plus 1. I is 0, corresponding to 0. If I add 1, right, then this position will be 1, this position will be 2, this position is 3. This is how we fill our array. This part can follow, and if can follow, then I continue. So how to we print our array? Same, we go from I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. If you don't want to put 10, right, what you can do is you put size, okay? Size, okay? You can also put size. Why do this work? Why do we use less than, but not less than or equal to? The reason is our size is 10. Our size is 10. We're counting from 0 to 9, right? 0 to 10 is 10 times, or we can call it as 10 items. So if I want to store 10 items, right, it is not inclusive 10, not inclusive 10. We look from 0. We are talking about index. We are talking about index. So with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 9 already. If we until 9, right, it's 10 items already. Okay. Similar, if you want to print it, right, so we start from index is 0. Index is 0. Then we loop until 9. 9 is the end. Okay, so let's save it. After we save, right, let's go and compile it. I open my compiler first. Today we are working with P03. Then we are going to run number 3. We're going to run number 3. So as you can see, it print from number 1 to 10. 1 to 10. This is how you print it. So what if I ask you want to print backward? How do you print backward? Normally the question won't ask you to print backward. Backward is a bit advanced already. So I just teach you first. Okay. So how do we want to reverse the number? If you want to reverse the number, right, you do something like this. Okay. So we also need a looping. We use loop to print. So we start from I is equal to size minus 1. We start from I is equal to size minus 1. Because size minus 1 is number 9. Here. We start from I equal to size minus 1 until I is equal to 0. We do it until I is not equal to 0. We keep doing it when the I is not 0. From 9, right, we want to decrement it. Minus, we use minus, okay? You want to keep reduce it from 9, keep reduce up until 0, okay? We can use not equal to 0, okay? We can use not equal to 0. This will work also. If you don't believe me, let's try. So I compile it again. Where is my compiler? So I compile it again. Number 3. Can you see this? So we are going to print number 10, 9, and 7. We're missing one number. This one is a bit troublesome. Not equal to 0. Actually, it's not equal to -1. Suppose it's -1. This one is a bit complex. I don't encourage you to do like this. So how do you want to do it? So you use more than 0. Okay. When I is more than 0, then we are going to continue to loop it. We're going to decrement it. If I is more than 0, then we're going to keep decrease it. So it's still more than 0, right? Then you're going to print this. So let's save it. Let me think first. In here, right? Let me ask you, we use less than equal to or use less than? More than. We use more than or use more than equal to? Wow, 水用变生气哦，这样变态啊！当然是 is more than equal to. Because we want to print number 0. Try let's try. I might be wrong also. because I practice this very less, very less, almost 0 times in my life. This one is used in final exam. I use this in my final exam. My final, I use this one. So I teach you this one first. The answer is more than or equal to. The answer is more than or equal to. So if you print number 1, right? So you want to use it. So what happens if you want to print -1? Say our array, right? Our array is only up until 10, right? What will happen if we print -1 like this? What I mean is, what happens if we print -1? What will happen? There's no index -1. Our index is up until 0 only. How about if we print like this? 10. How about we print 10? What will happen? What is this answer? What is this answer? Tell me. What is this answer? -1. What is this answer? Okay, error. Someone say error. Okay, so I write it down. Error. Okay. How about this one? If I print array num 10, what is the answer? Any more? If I print array num 10, what is the answer? Come try. Hui Ying. Come. Angelique, come try. It's okay, it's wrong. Just try only, okay? If you try now, you wrong now, then you remember it better, I tell you. 9. Any more? Hey, you don't look at him, then tell 9, okay? You don't look at him, then say 9, okay? Think carefully what I taught you just now. How do you call an index as 0? Index 0 at which position? How do you call the position of 0? How do we call it? Then say if I call array num 10, if I call the position at 10, what is the answer? Someone say nothing. Any more answer? Any more? Okay, let's try lah. Let's direct try lah. If I continue like this, it's very wasting time. So say if I uncomment this one first, I uncomment this one. Actually, this one is index bound out of error. Index bound out. No more item. Index bound out. Okay, no more index already. You will see an error also because if you print number 10, right? 10 got no more things already. Our index is up until 9 only. Our index is up until 9 only. I write like this is better. I write like this, you may confuse also. If I want, right, I can change this to 9. Okay, less than from 0 to 9. Depends which one you prefer lah. I prefer to use less than. I always use less than because one thing is I type less things. I type less number of things. If you are not familiar, right, you can put it like this also. Let me save it. This means, right, we are going to start from I is equal to 0. Then we keep increment it when I is less than or equal to 9. So we're going to print up until 9, right? Up until 9, then only we stop. Okay. So let me save it. So I'm going to close this one first, then I compile it. Can you see this? Index -1. -1 is out of bound of length 1. Okay. So if you call -1, what will happen is it say it don't exist. Say the index is bound out of length, bound out already. Because your index is always start as 0. Start at 0. Okay. Your index is start from 0. Same thing. 1 to 10, 10 to 1. The same thing. Okay, so I comment this out. So what happens if I compare this one? Size dot print array num 10. Let's see what happens. It will say index bound also, but this time is bound out of 1 also. This one is -1. Letter will be 10, probably 10. Probably. So let's see. Number 3. Let's compare it. The index 10 is out of bound. The index 10 is out of bound. Our index is 0 to 9. Okay. For this practice, right, our index is 0 from 0 to 9. If you can store 10, right, like this, so it's like this. We can store like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So it's like 10. We can store 10 items, but our actual index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Our index is like this. This one is index. This one is index. This one is our items in array. This one is our items in array. This one is our items in array. This one is our index. Okay. So if you print number 10, right? Number 10 is out of bound already. So number 10 don't exist. Just now in here. Not in here. This one. Say if we print number 10, right? Then our index doesn't exist. No exist. Okay. Our index is up until 9 only. Because our index is counting from 0. So right now, right, you can take a screenshot first. You take a screenshot, later go home, you go and play around. I already sent this file in our WhatsApp group, right? So you go and modify the file, add this comment to your file. Then you go home and try to understand it by yourself, okay? So I add 2 space, more easy to read. 1, 2, 1, 2. So like this one. So you can go home and read yourself. Okay? This one is index. This one is the number of items.